So in the last video, I set a goal of 5,000 likes, and if we hit that goal, I'd grade the 2018 World Cup shirts. We smashed that goal in less than 10 hours. Now here's the thing, right? I thought that a video about the 2014 World Cup in the year 2022 wouldn't really do that well, you know? I thought it would struggle quite a bit. I guess not, but a big massive thank you to you guys there, and if we can get 7,000, I'll do another one of these grading kits videos. And since I don't really know which tournament to do next, I'll let the comments decide for me. So the most liked comment, I will grade that set of kits in a video into the future. Ad time! Fellas, have you ever heard of OneFootball? No? Well, let me tell you then. I've been using OneFootball since 2017 when I was a wee little sophomore, so trust me when I say this is the best app for football news and results. Follow your favorite clubs and national teams and know exactly when they're playing based on your time zone. You can even get live feeds for matches you couldn't watch at home. Sick of that pesky manager not performing? Well, luckily for you, OneFootball will make sure you're the first person to know when he's sacked. All you have to do is turn on notifications and boom, all the latest news for your club or even national team. I personally love this app because I can follow any and all leagues and competitions that I'm interested in. So that way I know all the future matchups coming up and maybe I can watch some and plan ahead. I can review all the results and even the stats of every single match that has been played and even the league table. And remember, this is all accessible on just one single app. And with OneFootball, you can even follow players. So if you're someone who loves a certain player and wants to know how they're doing, or you're an Arsenal supporter hoping that Alexander Isak joins your club, this is the perfect feature for you. And the best part about all of this, the app is completely free. So drop everything you're doing right now, click the link in the description, and download OneFootball to absolutely transcend your footballing experiences. So, the 2018 World Cup. Not as memorable as the 2014, but still, there are some moments. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi were kind of underwhelming, but we had in their place Eden Hazard and Luka Modric. And remember when Egypt were kind of hyped up? For really no reason besides Mo Salah, who was injured going into this World Cup. One of these days, I might dive into Egypt and Mo Salah's 2018 World Cup campaign because there's a lot to unfold there. But enough about players, it's time to grade every single World Cup 2018 shirt. And we begin with host Russia and their home shirt. Adidas did this thing in the 2018 World Cup where they take classic designs and kind of modernize them. Russia was one of these examples, more of the plainer examples though, because this was inspiration from, I believe, the 1980 shirts. Russia's away shirt is white, and I got a few comments on the last video saying, oh, Maxwell, you just don't like white shirts. No, I just don't like white shirts that aren't done right. Russia's away shirt that never saw the light of day in the World Cup because obviously they were hosts. There's a nice pattern on the base of the shirts that's actually visible to the eye, and then the touches of blue here or there, it's decent. Uruguay, as opposed to the previous two editions of the World Cup, kind of stepped down a bit here. Their home shirt just doesn't have as much color as the 2014 and 2010, which I thought was a really nice touch. They again do something with the sun, but it's just a very basic design on the entirety of the base, and it's not really screaming anything to me. And then Uruguay's away shirt. It is just a white shirt. Next, we have Saudi Arabia, and just like Uruguay's away shirt, Saudi Arabia's home shirt is basically just white. And the same can be said about their away shirt. It is just green. That is it. And I don't like comparing old shirts to newer ones, but if you look at the more recent Saudi Arabia away shirt, and even the home shirt in some cases, you can see that when Nike isn't lazy, they can actually do some cool things like that. Egypt home, please, please, give me something refreshing. I guess it's better than the other ones we just saw. Colors, good. Very basic shirt. You have a checkered pattern, very subtle on the base there. But all I can say for this shirt is it's decent. What is Egypt's away? For God's sake, man. This could have been good if they just added maybe some red and some black on the sleeves. But no, just go for an entirely white base with a white collar and white sleeves. And sure, there's some black there, but it doesn't really do much. This is off to a great start, fellas. Spain's home shirt, finally we get to see something a little more refreshing. This is one of those classic Adidas shirts with a modern touch. Spain in this case threw back to their 1994 design, I'm pretty sure. And I'll be honest, I kind of prefer the solid colors as opposed to what Adidas did here, where it looks like the designs are just kind of fading away. That being said, Spain's home kit altogether, fantastic, but we're just graying the shirts here. Spain for their away shirt went for completely different colors from what you'd expect again. I would say it's not as good as what 2014 was, but this isn't too bad. Portugal's home shirt from 2018. The first thing that comes to everyone's mind when they think of this shirt is Ronaldo's hat-trick against Spain. So with that being said, the shirt is just red and there's a lack of color, and honestly, this is one of the worst Portuguese shirts in recent time. I actually can't remember their away shirt. That's a bit disappointing. I mean, come on, man. We've seen better Portuguese away shirts before. Remember 2012? That one was so sick. Iran, please save this video. Man, is that it? Is that really it? What happened to the cheetah? I know I called it a leopard last time, but it is a cheetah. Iran away. I am begging you, look good. It's not terrible. It's got that same template from the Egypt away shirts, but with a good color, it can look pretty decent. Morocco 2018 home. I want to give up. I want to give up. Alright, but maybe the away shirt is better. Didn't Leicester have this same design? I'm just saying, we've gone through about 8 teams, and like 75% of them, I have been extremely disappointed, and my day is nearly ruined. France's home shirt is actually pretty good. I know I talked about the little arm pattern, but at least this one is visible. And on top of that, it actually looks really good in person. France's away shirt, though, I know doesn't look that great. It just kind of looks like a Jackson Pollock mural if it was somehow even more minimalized. Next we have Denmark's home shirt, and it looks pretty good. I don't have much else to say besides I like the red base and then the darker red sleeves. Just a little bit of color differentiation there, even though it's very minimal. And for some reason in the 2018 World Cup, as I've noticed in these last 9 teams that we've seen, not many people like to add a different color to the sleeve here. But in the case of Denmark, even though it is very small, you can at least see some color that is different to the base of the shirt, and I like that. Denmark's away, basically what they did with the home shirt, except this time it's white, but it doesn't look as good. We're going on the up still, fellas, because Peru's home shirts I really like. It's a very basic Peru red sash design, but there's a little bit of touches of gold. I always say that whenever a shirt adds a little touch of gold here or there, it can very much transform the look of it. It just makes it look so much better. And with the Peru shirt that has a very basic design, just adding those touches of gold makes it look so much slicker. And the same can be said about Peru's away shirt, because again, they added some gold. It's not as much, and I think the home shirt still looks better, but this one still pretty solid. Australia's home shirt. It's kind of weird. It kind of reminds me of the Juve zebra shirt from I think like 2016-17, but it's something unique. It does something different as opposed to the other Nike shirts in this World Cup, so I think it deserves a decent grade. Australia's away. Not that great. Croatia's 2018 home shirt. A very fine looking shirt inspired by the greats of Barcelona's 1920 shirt. Again, as I said before, grading Croatian shirts kind of difficult because it is just the checkered pattern. But what I do like about this one is that the squares have a little bit of motion blur added to them, a little bit of uniqueness. So for that reason, I'll give it a better grade than what I gave the 2014 one. Croatia's away shirt, I think, is just them inverting the colors. So this is basically the evil Croatia shirt. And when it comes to a Croatian away shirt, they can be very much hit or miss. I think this one's a hit. Argentina's home shirts. Again, as I've said before, I really don't know why Adidas and Nike just said, ignore the color of the sleeves. Just make it the same as the base. Because this would have looked so much better if there was some black on those sleeves. And that's all I'm gonna say. But looking at the positives, however, the stripes again have a cool pattern, a little bit of texture added to them, and I really like that. Argentina's away shirt, quite honestly, looks like a training kit. But I kind of dig it. Black can be done right, especially with colors that are very much contrasting that black, and the light blue and white of the Argentinian flag very much does that here. Nigeria's 2018 home. Finally. It doesn't matter if I've seen it the first time or the 90th time. It just blows you away. This was easily the best World Cup shirt of the entire tournament. It's really unfortunate that Nigeria were A, robbed in that Argentinian match, and also were a little bit underwhelming, and we didn't get to see them in the round of 16. But still, this is a very memorable shirt. When you think of 2018, you think of this shirt. Nigeria's away shirt, on the other hand, shades of 2006, 2010, 2004. Iceland made it to this World Cup. It was the first time they had ever made it to the World Cup. I remember when this kit first released and I really liked the design on the sleeves. Not so much as I did before, but I still think this is a pretty good shirt. The away shirt, however, makes that design on the sleeves look so much better. Unlike the home shirt where it felt a little bit tacky, this one is just so much more smooth. Brazil's home shirt. This is where the whole sleeves conversation comes back. If those sleeves were just green, I would have graded this much higher, but just having them stay yellow feels very incomplete. Don't have much hopes for Brazil's away shirts. Oh, actually, one thing I will say real quick, I'm sorry that I'm so negative in this f***ing video. I really did not like how Nike just made every single shirt feel so incomplete. Because if you just had this throughout the entire shirt, I think it would have looked better. However, I really like this abstract design that Brazil did for their away shirts. Again though, if there was just another color, like I said in the 2014 video, like a yellow or a white, it would have looked a lot better. Switzerland's home shirt. Basically a topography map, but I like it for that reason. There's not much you can really do with the Switzerland shirts, it's just red and white, but when you add those little inspirations of, you know, Swiss mountains and all that kind of stuff, it really adds to the culture of the shirts, and Switzerland did well on this one. The Swiss away shirt, on the other hand, is just like the Uruguay away shirt. And here we go, right back to the basics. Serbia's shirt is just like every other Puma shirt that you've seen from pretty much every club that they've never cared about. And I don't really know why, because A, it's the World Cup, and B, you have the cross to work with. Serbia's away shirt does have a pattern. It's not the best pattern, but it does look okay at least. It is truly incredible, because New Balance gave Costa Rica this design in 2017, and this in the 2018 World Cup.
You can't be, yo, you gotta be shitting me. You gotta be shitting me.
There are some subtle designs on the shirt, so for that, I'll give him a little bit of a bump up. Costa Rica's away shirt, you already know what I'm gonna say. Sweden's home shirt. It is clean. I like what they did with the collar. I hate that again I have to go back to the fucking sleeve argument. Sweden's away uses the same template as Egypt and Iran, and just like Iran, the design actually looks really good with the color used. Do I wish that there was more added to it? Sure. But we've been over this about 6,000 times now. Mexicans probably love this shirt because it reminds them of when they beat Germany. I like how the green fades out on this one as opposed to how Spain did their design quite like this one. It's not the best of Mexican shirts, but it's still alright. Mexico's away reminds me of that 169 clip.
You know what's crazy? If I didn't start rapping, I would have been a soccer player. I hurt my knee. I would have been there somewhere. Probably playing middle wing or some shit.
But aside from that, I'm not too impressed by this shirt. South Korea's home shirt, another one that has some very fond memories. But talking about this shirt-wise, what do I say that I haven't already? What about the away shirt? Is it any better? The away shirt has a cool design. It's still very bland though, but at least the pattern gives it something. Germany never seemed to miss with their World Cup shirts, and this is the case once again with 2018. This one obviously isn't as good as 2014. I don't think anything could beat 2014 in all honesty, but Adidas took a design from 1990, a very classic one, and modernized it, and it looks pretty good. Honestly, I would have liked if they kept the German colors for this one, but the whole monochrome look still does look very solid. Germany's away shirts, again, more classic inspiration. And this one looks even better than the home shirts. It's unfortunate that this shirt's legacy will be that it lost to South Korea, but it is still one of the best shirts in this World Cup. Belgium's home throws it all the way back to the iconic 1984 design. The 1984 design looks like an image that you downloaded off of Google that you thought was a PNG, and it wasn't. So on this one, it looks a lot better as opposed to 1984. And I really like the design, but the shirt overall just still feels incomplete. But I'm not gonna say why, because you know exactly why. Belgium's away, that template that we've seen before. It doesn't look as good as Sweden and Iran, but it's still better than Egypt's. I will say one positive thing about this England shirt. If you put it together with the kit, it looks really nice, because at least there's the dark blue shorts, unlike 2014 and 2010 when they were both white. But that is the only positive I'm going to say about this shirt, because again, England, please do something that isn't just a plain white shirt. What I will say about England's away shirt, although the design you can't really see too much unless you put it behind a white background as like one of those model kits, this England away shirt, believe it or not, I'm about to say this, actually looks pretty good. Not only is there a subtle St. George's cross in the middle of the base, but there's little lines that kind of break it up to give it a little bit of texture. And when you consider that also the sleeves have that same pattern, it just feels like a more complete shirt as opposed to the other Nike kits where it's just a very plain base and then that weird little sleeve design that they have. Tunisia's home shirt, the sleeves and the collars are both a different color. That's crazy. You can't really see it on the front view of the shirt, but another different view and you can see the little design on the side. Tunisia's away, basically the colors are reversed. I will say though, the home shirt looks better. Panama's away shirt looks like I'm playing a game of Minesweeper. Jokes aside though, it's much like the Costa Rican shirt where it's all red and just a pretty slick design on the base. Panama's away shirt has that design a lot more visible. I don't really think that model picture gives it justice because it does look a lot better in person. So we're on to our very last group. Thank God. Colombia's home shirt, again, another one of those Adidas projects. This design in particular was thrown all the way back to 1990, and I'm really glad that Adidas didn't decide to do the whole thing that they did with Spain, where it looks like it kind of fades into the shirts, because these are solid red and blue bars with a little bit of texture, and because of that, I think this is one of the better Adidas shirts that was presented in the World Cup. Colombia's away looks like a dark version of the Spanish home. I don't know if I really like this color combination, but the 1990s design that they have subtly there, I do like. As opposed to 2014, where Japan's shirts were a little underwhelming and even terrible, their home shirt was fantastic. It's just very clean, and in person, it looks even better. Japan's away though, it's not as bad as 2014, but I'm still not the biggest fan of it. Alas, another African nation, and you know what that means. You know the kit's a banger. The subtle design on this Senegalese home shirt, I just love it. And the away shirt looks even better because now you can see that lion a lot better. The one thing I wish Senegal did with these shirts was just add a little bit more color. I feel like if you went that Cameroon 2014 type beat, it would look way better. Poland, which I am pretty sure, yet again, we are ending this on some disappointment. It's just white. There's like a little half and half thing, but it's really not that impressive. The same thing was done here with the away shirt. Poland just decided to pull up to the World Cup as AS Monaco. I thought there were more 2018 shirts that I remember looking good. That was not the case whatsoever. So to anyone suggesting the next tournament, please make sure there's some bangers because I don't want another video that turns out like this. But of course, a ginormous shout out to all the patrons that allowed this to be possible. Andre Root, Janos Balash, Piano, Alex Rod, Antonio, Daniel Ortiz, Darkwolf476, Ethan Scaraccio, Francisco Hernandez, Jason TD, Joseph Bonfante, Nguyen Din Mintang, The Motor Drive, Victor, Ariel Elflor, Declan Malloy, Dominic Griffin, Emmett Shea, Lewis, Tomicus, Trevor Batson, Trevor Azamar, Andres Was Never Here, Big Bird, Billy Jack Jory, Cash Getty, Chris Damasceno, Exo, Thief America, Itachi the Homie, It's Nofo, James Huggett, Ken Ramirez, Mark Morcos, Max Grenadier, Mohammed Al-Bakhil, Nicholas Baptista, Nico Chips, President Pulisic, Tyler Avon, and Unbroken Persona. If you'd like to join the Patreon, there'll be a link down below and up in the annotations. You can follow my Twitter if you'd like, follow my Instagram if you want, follow my TikTok, trying to get to 8,000 there, and of course, you can follow my inactive Twitch. But until then, I'll see you guys.